Joining us now is Ed McLean of the Catawba Valley Scottish Society out at Rural Hill. We want to get some update about the goings-on at Rural Hill. First, tell us about how things have been going with the Amazing Maze. Did you lose anybody in the maze yet this year?
Any missing persons?
We've had fewer come out than what went in. So there's somebody still out there. We serve breakfast every morning at 7:30.
Oh, do you? Okay,
for
good.
The leftovers.
And there's water throughout the maze, right?
Yes, we try and keep everybody alive.
Any record times this year? Or?
Actually, this year seems to be more of a challenge.
I can vouch for that.
We've had some people that have been out several years in a row, and they find this one to be much more challenging. We have a windmill design in the middle, and we have 14 blades. So you got 14 opportunities to go.
To get lost.
Any way you want to go, you know, and making a decision and figuring out how to get out of our maze is quite a challenge.
Well, you have one more week, or a little over a week, to go.
We have 4 weeks to go.
Well, we're...
Yes.
You have one more week to go, because this is the week of Halloween, and you have one more week to go. And then we're switching over to sheepdog trials.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, because that's new for me.
Well, sheepdog trials have been going on 15 years out of Rural Hill. And we bring in regional competition, which is sanctioned by the Border Collie Association. And they have about 100 plus dogs, really it gets up 125. We bring in 150 to 300 sheep.
Wow.
And they visit us for the weekend, and it's regional competition for points towards a national championship. And people come out to watch these smart dogs perform all day long. The competition's unbelievable. We have about a field that's about a quarter-mile long. They release the dogs up at the top, and they send the sheepdog up to bring the sheep down, and they split them into pairs sometimes, bring them back into a group. They go through different gates on the field, and they're judged on the response to the commands, and the sheep herder stands in one position way down at the beginning of the field where the grandstands are, and he has to do all the commands from down there, and they're judged on time and performance.
So you're sitting in a stance watching?
Yes.
Okay.
Or standing around the field somewhere. But they're out there, you know, one dog and about 4 sheep, and they're judged on a clock, and they have judges that are nationally ranked come in and judge their performances.
And what region are the dogs coming from? Are they coming from all over, or?
Yeah, they come from up north, they come from Florida, they come, I'd say this half of the country. But they come in, stay the weekend, and they're actually novice dogs are there on Friday. And the older dogs are judged Saturday and Sunday. And it sort of narrows the field down, sort of like drag racing. Start out with a bunch, and you keep eliminating down till you got the key dogs. And they are wonderful to watch, wonderful. And then back on the back side of the field, we have agility demonstrations, where we have tunnels and high hurdles and different obstacles for the dogs to go over around. And that's kind of a different event. And at the end of the day, some people can run their own dogs for a little while, but they're by invitation also. But they're fascinating to watch. It's somewhat different.
And are these all border collies, or are there different
types? They're
types?
herding dogs.
They're herding dogs.
And I think when Lynn Henderson comes in, she might tell more about the different kinds of dogs. But dogs are used for herding things like ducks and cattle.
Children?
And these are used, children, yes. They will nip at your heels and perform quite well. And other animals are herded with these dogs. The Catawba Valley Scottish Society is pleased to have this part of our repertoire because, as you referred to, the border collies, they were bred in southern Scotland against the northern border of England, and they were specifically bred to herd sheep, and that was a prize commodity back, it still is, I guess, in Scotland, but back in the early days. So these dogs have developed over many centuries now, and they are kind of a one-purpose dog, and they're high energy, and fascinating to watch.
Now the schedule of events is on your website, and we have a link to it on LKNSavings.com as well. And there's basically stuff going on all day, and so people can come as a family, walk around, see different activities. And is there going to be food? And
we have food vendors. We have a tractor display that'll be there that has come every year. This year we're adding a kind of a separate event across the road at our Davidson Schoolhouse, and it's a Strut Your Mutt event. And we have more than 10 rescue associations that are going to be there for people to come out if they're interested in rescuing a dog. But people can go there, take their dog, strut through one half of our trail that goes down through the woods by Mountain Island Lake. It's kind of a pretty walk.
So you can bring your dog to the...
Yes, and you can bring your dog the whole weekend out to... This is the one event during the year that all dogs are welcome. Just keep them on a leash and pick up after them. That's the only thing we ask. But it's a fascinating weekend. Actually, I think there's even going to be some horses over at the rescue this year. So Jan Sear from Cornelius is kind of heading up that portion of the program.
And so that's what, November 5th, 6th, 7th?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's the 7th and 8th. 7th and 8th,
okay.
Saturday and Sunday. We'll be there. Novice will be there on Friday. It's really not open as such, because you can never tell what the little dogs are going to do. But the big dogs are there Saturday and Sunday. And our farm will be open. We have a historic farm site. So if you have your children, you want to walk them down, take them through, see some cooking in the old style open hearth.
That would be great.
Our barn will be open. Eddie Ferguson will have the cattle. We have a few chickens down there. We have a horse, and just a regular old...
Sounds like a fun family weekend.
Rural Hill farm weekend out there with the dogs and animals, and it's really a neat event. Well,